Surrounded by powerful neighbors, located in the heart of Europe and caught between two world wars, Switzerland should have been invaded countless times. Yet somehow, this small country has managed to avoid wars for more than 2 centuries. It remained neutral during World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. And today, Switzerland is famous for peace, banking, and diplomacy. But neutrality alone cannot explain its survival. After all, many neutral countries have been invaded. So why is Switzerland different? How has this tiny nation managed to stay out of war while the rest of Europe repeatedly descended into chaos? And could this unique strategy still work in the modern world? Switzerland is a country of just 9 million people. It has no colonies, no nuclear weapons, and no ambition of becoming a superpower. Yet it occupies one of the most strategic locations in Europe, surrounded by Germany, France, Italy, and Austria. Switzerland sits at the crossroad of the continent. For centuries, these great powers fought devastating wars, yet Switzerland remained untouched. The reasons behind this are far more fascinating than people realize. Switzerland was not always neutral. In the Middle Ages, Swiss mercenaries were among the most feared soldiers in Europe. But after suffering a major defeat in 1515 at the Battle of Marignano, Swiss leaders gradually abandoned expansions. Over time, neutrality became official. In 1815, following the defeat of Napoleon, European power formally recognized Swiss neutrality. From that point onwards, Switzerland became a buffer state, and Europe largely agreed to leave it alone. Switzerland's geography makes invasions extremely difficult. Much of the country is covered by Alps. Mountain passes are narrow, terrain is unforgiving. Historically, attacking Switzerland meant fighting up hills against defenders who knew the landscape perfectly. Natural barriers provided tremendous protection, and geography has always favored defenders over invaders. Neutrality does not mean weakness. Switzerland maintains one of the most unique military systems in the world. Most Swiss men undergo military training. Many reserve soldiers keep their equipments at home. In times of crisis, the country can mobilize hundreds of thousands of troops very quickly. This system creates a powerful deterrent. Potential enemies understand that invading Switzerland would come at an enormous cost. During World War II, Switzerland developed a remarkable defense strategy known as the National Redoubt. The plan involved retreating into Alps if invaded. Bridges, railways, and tunnels were prepared for demolitions. Mountain fortresses were built. Even if enemy forces occupied cities, the Swiss army intended to continue fighting from the mountains. The message was clear: Switzerland would never surrender easily. By 1940, Nazi Germany has conquered much of Europe. France has fallen, Austria has been annexed, and Switzerland stood surrounded. Adolf Hitler reportedly disliked the Swiss and had plans for invasion. Operation Tannenbaum was prepared, yet the attack never came. Why? Historians offer several explanations. Switzerland's difficult terrain, strong defenses, economic usefulness, and higher priorities elsewhere. Invading Switzerland simply wasn't worth the cost. Over centuries, Switzerland became known for stability. Its bank attracted money from around the world. Political neutrality made it a trusted location. International organizations established headquarters there. Today, Geneva hosts the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and the Red Cross. Switzerland transformed neutrality into influence. Switzerland often acts as a mediator between countries. It represents the interests of states that do not maintain diplomatic relations. It hosts peace negotiations and it provides humanitarian assistance. This diplomatic role has strengthened its international reputation. Instead of projecting military power, Switzerland projects trust. During the Cold War, Europe was divided between NATO and the Soviet Union, but Switzerland joined neither side. It maintained its neutrality while preparing for the possibility of invasion. Thousands of bunkers were built. Civil defense became a national priority. At one point, Switzerland had enough shelter space for nearly its entire population. The country prepared for war while hoping never to fight one. The 21st century has brought new challenges. Cyber warfare, economic sanctions, and global conflicts have made neutrality more complicated. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Switzerland imposed sanctions on Moscow. Some critics argue that this weakened Swiss neutrality. Others insisted neutrality must evolve with the times. The debate continues. Switzerland teaches an important lesson. Peace do not necessarily come from weakness. Sometimes peace comes from strength, strong defenses, geographic advantages, diplomatic credibility, and a willingness to avoid unnecessary conflicts. Neutrality alone did not protect Switzerland. Preparation did. So why does Switzerland never go to war? Because geography protects it, because its people are prepared to defend it, and because centuries of neutrality transformed the country into one of the most trusted nations on earth. Switzerland proved that a nation does not need an empire to become influential. Sometimes staying out of war can be the greatest strategy of all.